Welcome to the very first episode of the Radius Plus Studio Show. For those of you who have consumed Radius Plus content in the past and have seen my mug, I do want to formally introduce myself. My name is Jonathan Aiken. I'm in charge of the Radius Plus content, but I'm also going to be the host of this show. Very excited to have you here. We have a lot to get into. The way this is going to work is that each week we're going to be pushing out an episode, and within each episode there's going to be roughly 5 or so different topics that we're going to be chatting about. They could range from news, events, product updates for our platform, outreach, connecting with yourselves, engagement from other facilities, on-site visits, etc. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's agenda. Number 1 on the agenda is a segment called Which Market? And this is a question that we're asking a lot of people in the industry just to get a sense of which market they would choose if they were to be gifted a self-storage facility. It's pretty much as easy as that. You know, Radius Plus is obviously a data company that helps you with that decision. The premise of the question lies in the fact that you do not have Radius Plus data in front of you. You're just going to go ahead and answer the question. I'm really interested to see how people answer the question in choosing a self-storage market based on innumerable factors that might be more valuable to them, or they may lean on more statistical data like population size, etc. Keep in mind, this self-storage facility has very average or above average rates. You're looking at maybe a 90% occupancy, etc. So, all right, without further ado, Tommy Nguyen from StoragePug. Let's go ahead and figure out what Tommy has to say.
I have to answer this way, given my previous answer. I have to pick Knoxville. This is where I grew up. This is what I know, right? And so I know all the neighborhoods or the suburbs, and I know the school districts. I know all the areas in Knoxville. So not only is it going to be Knoxville, I got to pick like West Knoxville, like in the Cedar Bluff area, right? And so because I know me as an operator, because of where I live and where I work and my community, I could totally dominate this area.
Yeah.
And plus, so just from a knowledge point of view there as well, but also Knoxville is a high growth market when it comes to population. Not nearly as fast or not nearly as crazy as Nashville, but people have come to Knoxville or Tennessee in general because no state income tax. That's always helpful. But Knoxville is one of those cool towns that we've got a fantastic downtown, a fantastic urban growth, right? But also lots of smart businesses are here. We've got big companies like Discovery and Pinnacle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Regal, and we've got really cool Clayton Homes. So really awesome, tech forward companies. Pilot, national. Gas station fuel company. We've got some huge companies here in Knoxville, which has really fueled our growth as a city. And plus, we've got University of Tennessee, so there's lots of things going. And so, if you were to gift me a facility, I would request it to be built here in West Knoxville. The other thing that's nice that wasn't part of my original answer though is we don't have a ton of REIT presence. There's a couple CubeSmarts. There's a couple.
That's pretty interesting.
But there's no public storage, there's no life storage, so you don't have, so just from a digital advertising, right, you can absolutely crush it. And then that's the other thing, when you Google storage units near me, there's not a ton of paid ads. I mean, there are, right, but it's the same faces, where if you had a healthy budget, $1,500 a month, you could lease up. I would say, a lot more comfortably than Austin, Texas.
Sure.
Even right. And so I think all of those stars kind of align in this market.
That answer was really good, first of all, but it was also very entertaining because it was spoken directly from someone who is involved in marketing and SEO and things. So I think the biggest takeaway from his answer is that you use your own strength, know your market. You know the market that you're sitting in. Why not choose that market? Nobody knows it better than you, unless they're your neighbor, but nobody knows that market better than you. That automatically gives you the leg up in terms of managing that facility in the long run. All right, number 2. The second item for today is actually a company update from Radius Plus. We are very excited to announce that we have entered the Canadian market. This is something that we have already listed on our website, and you may have seen some marketing material about it. We actually did push out an announcement video already that highlighted some of the reasons why we decided to go into Canada and how we did it. I would encourage you to check that video out. And I do want to shout out to our tech team who worked tirelessly for several months in order to get this launch on its feet. We're really excited to be in Canada, and the Canada market has been growing for quite some time now. So, there's a lot of American companies that have their eye on investment interest, and it's simply a natural progression for us, but nonetheless a very big deal, and something that our company is truly excited about. So if you are a Radius Plus user, feel free to play around with Radius Plus Insider. You can drop down the menu and click on Canada and explore some of the metrics that they have there that are inside the platform. And feel free to switch over to kilometers if that's of your interest as well. Number 3 is a segment we like to call "Who Said It Better." We have a lot of quotes that range from motivational, they may be about storage, or they may be about life in general, but they're very good, entertaining quotes, and transparently, they may be quotes that you might see on a platform like LinkedIn that often caters to that tonality. But these are not from LinkedIn. These are from our own research. But either way, I just really want to learn from you all who said it better. Each of these quotes has a message, and that message has been made famous by the quote, but there may be a better way to say that message in another verbiage or another way, or maybe it's already been said in another quote. In any event, this week, our quote is from none other than Dory. I'll play that now.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, swim.
Dory, no singing.
Woohoo! La 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 la. Just keeps going on, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in 2020, it's really hard not to relate to a quote like that. I think everybody sort of had that mentality at one stage or another throughout the 2020 year, and now that we're able to look back on, that was certainly a mantra that we all lived by. So I think it was a pertinent one to kick off episode 1 with. Moving on to number 4. Number 4 is just a quick anecdote from our team. In early March, you may have woken up and grabbed your cup of joe and logged into your internet and seen a Radius Plus email. The purpose of that email is simply just to make sure you are still active. Our tech team did a great job at making that just a super, super easy one click. So I'm not going to say any more about that. Hit the button, and moving on to number 5. The fifth point I want to get to today is simply about outreach. We live in a pretty seemingly small but actually big industry that is self-storage, and we enjoy leaning on each other for advice and collaboration and educational resources and knowledge, and I think that's how we all grow and become stronger and take a step forward. So we want to do that as well within Radius Plus content specifically. I'm excited to get a lot of you on the show eventually in due time, but I do want to state that my email address is jonathan@radiusplus.com. Please connect with us, reach out to me specifically if you have any interest in collaborating on the show and being involved in some of our content. We're really excited to get to know you and to provide a lot of resources for the self-storage community. Well, that is it. The very first episode of the Radius Plus Studio Show is completed. Please, I encourage you to connect with us, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Thanks.